love, you're listening to the Died on Ashanta podcast. I'm a resilience strategist and migrant integration specialist who has spent the last 20 years traveling, working, and studying throughout the Caribbean, North America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. As a globetrotter, I quickly learned how to bounce back from crisis and how to thrive in new and strange places. I've used my training and experience to develop a resilience-based framework, and now I help others to get over the hurdles that come with living in a foreign country. Now on this podcast, I invite you to join me on this journey of living with simplicity, joy, and resiliency. From green smoothies to goal setting, we'll cover it all. We'll talk about all the things that help us to thrive through the storm. Welcome to the Died on Ashanta podcast. This is episode 24, and today we're talking about power naps. Now, when we consider how we can work on simple habits to improve and sustain our personal resilience, one of the simplest ways to do it is something you probably haven't done since you were a child. And that, my dear, is taking a nap. Yes, falling asleep in the middle of the day intentionally. Not because you got knocked out. Now, we live in a time when the hustle and grind culture is really big. But this week's message is my encouragement to you to release that whole value system of sleep when you die and rest is for the lazy and that sort of thing. I want to really put your mind to considering how it is that we are really racking up a lot of screen time. So whether it is we are before a computer to complete our work, whether this is a job or the assignments in an academic program you're pursuing. And then on top of all of that, you have your cell phones to keep you connected to the world, to stay in touch with loved ones, to complete transactions, to help you stay on top of all your activities and events and assignments for the day. And we have a lot of people leading very sedentary lifestyles. So you stay seated for your classes or for your job, you complete those responsibilities, and then you come home and you sit. You are seated while you eat, you are seated for entertainment, you're seated for meetings. And unless you have made some kind of formal commitment or arrangement that intentionally schedules in time for physical activity, we can spend a lot of our time on a chair or in a bed in some kind of reclined state. And we don't really realize how this kind of lifestyle, from screens to seats, is really creating mental exhaustion. So even if we get a full night's sleep, our brains are all foggy. We feel even more stressed out because we are very irritable, easily frustrated. We can't really focus on any new content that's presented to us, and not so quick with the decision making. These are all things that are tied to minds that haven't gotten a chance to rest. And one of the easiest ways to kind of boost your mood from being, all irritable and cranky, to improve your memory, your learning capacity, to enhance mental clarity, reduce stress, and increase your frustration tolerance is by taking a nap. Now, what exactly is the difference between a nap and just regular old sleep that we do every night? Well, the first distinction is that a nap happens in the daytime, and for the best results, your nap should take place before about 3 p.m. So it doesn't ruin the quality of your nighttime sleep. So when you're thinking of a nap, we're not thinking of like a half an hour or an hour or more. We're thinking of something short that's just there, kind of like a top up for your system. And the experts have determined that sleeping for 10 to 20 minutes is exactly what you need to get a power nap. And if you've heard the term power nap, the reason it's called a power nap is because this brief 10 to 20-minute time of sleep in the middle of the day gives you such a boost, not just of mental clarity and physical energy, but emotional enhancement, that it feels like you've gotten a power boost, like you'd give a power boost to a vehicle or something else. And so, if you are considering how you can enhance your day to day ability to function and to thrive and to build your personal resilience, your ability to deal with the challenges that come, I mean, inevitably, whatever situation you are in, challenges will come, adversities will come. How do you enhance your capacity to deal with those things? And one way, a very easy way, a simple habit to tack on to your routine is taking a nap. Now, life gets busy. You have a ton of things to do. How do you fit a nap into anything else, into everything else? I mean, you're probably thinking, I can barely find time to eat. You probably eat on the go, that sort of thing. And this is why we set alarms. You use an alarm to wake up. How about an alarm to go to sleep? How about in the middle of your typical lunch break, you schedule a 10 to 20-minute period during which you simply get a quiet place, close your eyes, and take a nap. Now, I've had at different points in my life. I remember there was one point in my life where I knew that if I didn't take a nap in the middle of the day, I was probably going to pass out. And I remember what I used to do. I would leave my office and I would go up to the restroom, and I would literally lock the door to the cubicle. This is just the cubicle in the restroom, and I would sit there on the bowl and set a timer. That's key. Set a timer. I'd set the timer for maybe 15 minutes, and I would just close my eyes. Now, interestingly, if anyone ever came into that restroom while I was there, I have no idea because I was sound asleep during that time. But I don't recall like having anyone like, burst open the door and bang around or make any noise to wake me up. I don't know what about the timing that I chose, but that was the only way I knew I could take a nap. I knew that if I stayed in my office space to do it properly, somebody would come and bang on the door and wake me up or something. And I think I also didn't want everyone to know that I was taking a nap in the middle of the day because, not everyone appreciates the value of a nap. But that's what I do. I'd go lock away in the restroom and set my timer and take a nap. And when that 15-minute timer would go off, I'd wake up, sometimes go check my face, make sure I don't look all wrinkled up, and then head back to work. And that was how I got through that particular period in time. If you are in a space where you can literally like lock your office door and put your head on the desk, great. Another tip I would use, apart from setting that alarm or daily reminder to say, okay, it's nap time, you set your timer, whether you set it for 10, 15, 20 minutes, no more, no less. You set that timer, and then a little, I would say, a luxury tip is if you have an eye mask and you can put on that eye mask just to block out all that extra brightness of whatever light that's going to mean it's daytime. That would help you to fall asleep quicker and allow you to have a better quality of a nap, I think. At least that's my experience. If I don't have an eye mask around, I find a way to position my head or my face so that I can get like, I guess, my inner arm or my elbow going across my eyes to block out any extra light. So think of ways to make yourself comfortable and void of any interruptions, because you don't want anyone, coming to disturb you in that like 10-15 minutes. And that is what I recommend if you want to make taking a nap a habit. Maybe you're not too keen on doing it during the week. How about trying it over the weekend? As we approach the weekend, pick, let's say on Saturday coming up, you go ahead and take that time and say, okay, I've had my lunch. We typically don't use more than 20 minutes to consume any major meal throughout the day. After you've had your meal, put yourself in a comfortable place and set your timer 10, 15, 20 minutes and close your eyes and just enjoy the ability to be at rest. Whether you sleep or not, that's not the focus. Just set that time aside to rest, to take a pause from everything that's going on and reset your mind, your body, your emotions. And I mean, if you're looking for more information, lots and lots of tips and evidence-based, scientifically researched findings on sleep and how to improve your sleep, I highly recommend a book by Sean Stevenson. It's called Sleep Smarter: 21 Essential Strategies to Sleep Your Way to a Better Body, Better Health, and Bigger Success. And that is a book I've had a few years now. I've lent it to others. It is overwhelmingly packed with a lot of advice about how to improve your sleep. So not just about the nap, because they do discuss the he does discuss napping in there. But check that book out if you're interested in improving your sleep quality, improving your sleep hygiene, as we call it. And the proverb that I leave with you this week is from Chad, and it says, "A man with too much ambition cannot sleep in peace." So that's your Chadian proverb for today. A man with too much ambition cannot sleep in peace. And I think that applies to so many of us as we try to adapt to new environments and new circumstances, that sometimes all our dreams and goals keep us up at night. So if that's you, a nap is the perfect thing you need to smooth through your day and reduce that sleep deficit that you have. So let me know, have you been taking naps? Do you enjoy taking naps? When, where, how do you take your naps? I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, do your best to keep it simple as you build the habits to improve and increase your personal resilience. Have a great day. Thanks so much for listening, love. If you enjoyed this episode, head over to diadanashanta.com. I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's message. Be sure to drop your email address so I can send you some helpful resources, updates, and the occasional music video that I may have on repeat. Make sure you subscribe and spread the love with someone you care about.